Welcome to the beautiful game. My name is Mike Mesikeno, and of course, Tigya Toyosia Debanjo is here with me. It is a pleasure to have you. You're welcome.
Thank you for having me.
All right, let's get straight into it. Yeah, it was Manchester United against Fulham. Just saw some of the highlights there. That missed penalty by Bruno Fernandes. But let's start with the lineups here. Were you okay with the lineup that Ruben Amorim, considering the weapons he has at his disposal? Were you okay with the lineup?
Well, when you say weapons, it's not as if they're that sharp. they're still blunt. So
come on now, Mbemo, you can't call this guy blunt now.
Look, the old starting lineup, there was nothing wrong with it until the fact that Mason Mount again is starting ahead of a striker.
It shouldn't be, right?
It shouldn't be starting ahead of a striker. We know Cunha is also not an out-and-out striker. He's more of an attacking midfielder or inside forward. Both players, they can help the striker with service and creation and all of those stuff. And I also have a problem with Amad Diallo starting as a right wing back. This young man is a winger. See, look, with Ruben Amorim, I understand the ideology he wants the players to buy into. But at the same time, you also have to adapt and understand that they themselves need to adapt or fit into the ideology that you want. It goes for both parties. You have to meet at the middle ground. It's as simple as that. You cannot always want to force your own ideology on them. Now the 3-4-3 has come to stay in the Premier League, no doubt. But at the same time, these two are wingers. Let them fight for their spot. Let Cunha and probably Mason Mount also fight for their spot on the wings. While you have Zegzi and what's his name? Benjamin Sesko, also fight for their spot.
But this is where I have a problem.
Exactly. Now for Manchester United, attack-wise, everything is settled. I'm sure they have good players that they can definitely score goals. But in the midfield, it's shallow. It's shallow because Casemiro is aging. Won't give you the Casemiro of years ago. Bruno Fernandes is not a natural defensive midfielder and would not give you that work rate of always bumping forward and going backwards all the time. So there's a dilemma here where you need a defensive midfielder. I'm sure they realized late. That was why they're going for Carlos Baleba, but it was already too late. Because then you have to make good use of Ugarte then, or Kobe Mainoo. You have these guys that
Kobe Mainoo was on the bench.
I feel he's just making things difficult for himself.
You know, like we mentioned, when Emil Smith-Rowe went to score that goal, you see that he was close. Fernandes was close to him. And then he moved forward. Fernandes
lacks the characteristics of a awareness of it. The awareness of it.
Exactly. But then let's talk about Fulham here. This man is at the center of everything that happened yesterday.
Yes.
Let's talk about him.
And it was a very funny performance from Bassi. He was good at some point in the game, and at some point in the game he lost his head. He was lucky not to have been, penalized for a penalty. Rough handling in the box.
No, that was a penalty. That was a penalty. But I mean, a red card, it could have been a
not
card.
Necessarily red card. It was just manhandling and all that. But then at the end of the day...
That was wrestling, no? What about just to pick mounts?
That's why I said manhandling. Just dunked him somewhere. But yeah, I'm sure Marco Silva will have to have a good conversation with this guy. Don't forget, I think the first game they also played, he was in the news for sagging so bad. That I think Adidas had to send him nice, what they call it, pants now. So that he can do. I think he needs to start doing better.
But this man was the Premier League man of the match. He was man of the match. Alex Iwobi, there's that thing that people talk about here. Why is it that they cannot transform the form from club into national team? In less than 2 weeks, we're going to be up against Rwanda and South Africa. We need Iwobi performing as well as he gave that assist. That's two assists for Emil Smith-Rowe. We need Iwobi performing as well as he does in Fulham in the national team.
Two things. First and foremost, the kind of players around Alex Iwobi at Fulham, are they the same kind of players that we have in the national team? Second thing is, Iwobi himself, when it comes to the national team, maybe three things now. The second one, Iwobi himself, what kind of performance does he turn out for the national team? Like, what kind of attitude do they give and vibe do they give in the national team? And lastly, the role he plays. Here is more of a free role, or he could play more attacking. But when it comes to the Super Eagles or the national team, it's playing more like a midfielder who will have to go back, cover for the defense, come forward again. So it's always a different interpretation. Yeah.
All right, you know what happens now? Let's take a look at Ruben Amorim, the trends. Now, Ruben Amorim is trending for a number of reasons. Let's take a look at trends now. And this is the reason why Ruben Amorim is trending. Now, this is quite interesting, This is 29 games, 28 points.
He has been in charge of more games than the number of points. And it's crazy. Of course,
look, if you want to the maximum that you can get, right? If you're looking at it, the maximum that you can get is what? 87 points. with 29 games. Now from 87 points, Baba has 28. Is it too early to be talking about a sack?
I think it's too early. It's too early. Give them time. Look, it's a totally different ball game for Manchester United now.
Okay.
You remember what Marcus Rashford said, where United have started that transition now.
Okay.
They were avoiding transition for long. Give him time. Let's see the first 10 games. If there are no wins there.
In 29 games.
Wait,
hold on.
Mike,
in 29 games, he has not won back to back.
Yes. In fact, they've not won games on a row, on a trot. Yes. No, there's nobody denying all of these statistics that are terrible and bad. But give them 10 games. Let's see what they do. Look, I feel like their game has changed.
Thomas Frank didn't have 10 games.
Come on now.
3 competing matches, you saw there was a difference. Okay, do you see anything?
Tottenham is different from Manchester United.
Are Man U showing you anything?
The pressure, the demands from Manchester United is so different from
Tottenham. Are Man U showing you anything?
Yes,
that there's been a change?
And that's where I'm going to. There's this urgency that they have in their play now. They run more, they cover miles more.
I don't see it.
Yes, they do, actually. We saw that against Arsenal. Unfortunately, they just couldn't score.
Where he said he can beat anything after losing.
The same thing against Fulham. I just feel like every of their efforts, the moment they start scoring goals, then we'll start seeing those things that they're
okay.
behind.
Now, very fast here, let's talk about Victor Boniface. Victor Boniface has been in the news for a number of reasons, and that is mostly because of a failed transfer to AC Milan. You know, let's take a look at those trends now.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at those trends now. And major on those trends now. We can see, okay, we've spoken about Amorim.
Boniface.
Okay, yes, let's talk about Victor Boniface. And that is for a number of reasons here. The failed transfer. People are talking about it. He should have gone to AC Milan. But then there's just that back and forth. And then, you know, there's that talk about him using social media. Was social media the reason for the injury?
Social media is not the reason why he's injured now.
But then he came up to drop statements. He even had to send a message to Fabrizio Romano and then tell him to delete it and then put up the post.
I'm not sure about that message.
Was he overdoing?
No.
Was he overdoing?
With Nigerian players, we always like to act like we know how they feel. We should be able to control them, tell them what to do. You cannot. The same thing with Victor Osimhen too. There are some flimsy excuses I hear. These things happen in football. I remember Naby Fekir was supposed to sign for Liverpool.
Naby Fekir, yeah.
The medicals failed. So what was the excuse? What's his name? Dembaba too had failed medicals. And he still went ahead to conquer everything and still do so well.
They do.
With Victor Boniface, all I'm going to say is he should chin up, take it to heart. Not take it to heart. Just be bold enough to just continue
but his
and
social
see
media
how you
use,
come back.
Is it a problem?
Big from this.
Is that a problem?
Everybody uses social media, for crying out loud. How you
but
use
the way
it is
he
my
uses
business.
it, is it a problem?
How is he using it? As long as he's not abusing anyone, as long as he's not misbehaving or posting, indecent stuff. As long as it's just like Nigerians say, catching cruise. It's just having fun.
All right. Okay, you know what happens now? Let's take a look at... why am I seeing Chelsea on top of this team? Okay, let's take a look.
You want Chelsea fans to come for you.
Yes, let's just run over the match week in the EPL.
Yeah.
Of course, the match week started with West Ham against Chelsea. Very, very fast. What do you think about Chelsea's performance? Are they title contenders?
No, please, spare me. Sunderland defeated West Ham 3-0. Professional game.
Club World Cup champions. No, they do like this.
Club World Cup does not mean you are the best in the world now.
But this was a shocking scenario. Now, this was the big shock over the weekend.
Well, it wasn't shocking for me.
It wasn't shocking for you, exactly. Especially you did call it. And then,
Yeah.
especially against Tottenham Hotspur, they had a very bad record.
Yeah,
they are at the same level. Tottenham Hotspur and Jurgen Klopp, not just Liverpool. Jurgen Klopp have always had the better of Manchester City.
Yeah.
Does this show that Manchester City will not be able to contend for the title?
They will contend for the title. It just shows that City are back to planet Earth.
Okay.
When they were winning the Premier League back to back, they were invincible at that time.
Okay.
They were untouchable.
Okay.
Now, those players have gone. Pep has a new era of players where he needs to coach them. He needs to teach them. He needs to put all of his ideas in their head so that they can also get back to that level that they used to be before.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Of course, Bournemouth here, after losing three of their regular back line and all of that, but a win against Wolverhampton was a good one. All right.
Scoring.
All right. Brentford, Aston Villa 1-0.
I enjoyed this game
big
too.
One.
Yeah.
All right. Crystal Palace, Nottingham Forest, big one. But let's wrap up with this one. This is the major one that will happen, and that is talking about.
These two, I'm impressed with Jack Grealish.
Okay.
2 assists, and that's fantastic for the young man.
All right, but the big one, of course, has to be Newcastle Liverpool. Just call
it on Monday. That's today. That's tonight. It's a grudge match. So I don't know how Isak will take this one. I hope he will come to the stands to come watch.
He won't. He's not going to be there.
But that's his headache. But then,
who wins?
I see Liverpool taking this one.
Okay.
Because Newcastle are so unsettled right now that it might affect their game. But Liverpool can capitalize on that.
All right, thank you very much for coming on the show this morning. Now that's it on The Beautiful Game. We'll take a time out now. Stay with us. SMU will be coming right up after this.